Welcome back. The Singapore Property Show 2020 is set to be the nation's largest virtual real estate show, and it's a collaborative project between Mediacorp, PropNex and 99.co. It begins tomorrow and will run till the 4th of December. Joining us tonight with more is Darius Cheung. He is CEO and founder of 99.co. Darius, thanks very much for joining us. Tell us, first of all, what can we expect at this virtual property show?
The virtual property show, it is the largest attempt in Singapore to take the property hunting experience online into a virtual environment so that property buyers can be at home to be able to experience property at the comfort and, more importantly, safety from their home. We have the largest, this is the largest show with over 17 projects, over 30 virtual show flats that is narrated and recorded through videos so that users can experience that properties online at home. And more importantly, it also has over 20 webinars with live Q&A, and property hunting is not just about the property itself, but it's also about planning, troubleshooting, and you can ask questions and get them answered through these webinars in a live Q&A session as well.
Darius, Singapore's in this recession right now, but help us to understand why private home prices have bucked that trend. They've picked up, they're rising. Why is this happening?
Indeed. In fact, I will say three reasons. In an uncertain time, often we find safe asset class, like, for example, property and maybe gold and a number of other asset classes, as actually very attractive to investors. And secondly, for some very odd reasons, the stock market has actually kept rising for the last 6 months, despite COVID and recessions and many threats to the economy. But nevertheless, it is a volatile market. It might have reached a peak, and we've seen many investors starting to retreat from their asset class and putting their money into property. So these are the two factors to drive the prices. And third is really more behavioral. We've seen people who just simply have more time and money to buy home. Money and time that used to be spent on traveling and shopping and luxury and maybe pence are now being spent on a real asset that appreciates, and I think that's a good thing.
What do you reckon is the outlook for the market, in the next few years, Darius, given the experience of COVID?
The way we look at it, the Singapore market will continue to be very stable and on the rise. According to SRX data, the private resale market is up 0.8% quarter-on-quarter. HDB resale is up 0.8% month-on-month. If you look at the new launch segment, over just the last 2 weekends, 60% of a new launch called Penrose is sold over the weekend, 50% of Verdale is sold over the weekend. So these are all very, very strong signs that the property market continued to be very robust and a very high demand. Perhaps if your question is, what can the property hunter do to find a good deal, then what we would suggest is to keep looking. It will take some effort, but there are individual circumstances that individuals might need cash quickly, and that might be an opportunity you can jump in. But it will take a lot of searching and hunting to find those special deals.
Darius, so much has changed since the COVID-19 outbreak, but what will buying properties look like in a post-pandemic world?
That's a great question. Our belief is that the buying property experience would go from about 50% online today, pre-COVID, to probably 90% online in a post-COVID world. We believe that most people will still ultimately want to see the property maybe for one final time before they actually make a purchase, but it will certainly reduce the number of physical viewings they would do from on average of 25 to perhaps around 3 as we observe the user behavior. Such that they would actually spend a lot less time traveling and physically viewing, not just from a time and a convenience standpoint, but also from a health and safety standpoint to reduce the risk exposure for being physically in a location.
So much has changed and so much continues to change because of this pandemic. Darius, thank you very much for that. Darius Cheung, there, CEO and founder of 99.co.